Hey everybody, Mr. Morel here, and we're going to talk about homework assignment 4.1, is it a solution? Now, I hope that this homework assignment feels super duper easy, maybe too easy. The whole point is it's going to set us up for understanding the answers that we're finding in the next during this entire unit. So we're going to be finding these answers, and I want you to understand what these answers mean, so that's why we're going to start off with this pretty simplistic assignment over here. So we're going to be finding solutions to different things. So level 1, we need to select one ordered pair that is a solution to the equation. So what that means is that when we have an equation, we have an x and a y. Now in class we've talked about how there are usually an infinite number of ordered pairs that will, there is an infinite number of ordered pairs of x's and y's that will make this statement true. So our job is just to see if we have one of them around. Okay, so remember, with an ordered pair we have our y value is the first one and our x value is the second one. So we're basically just going to plug these x's and y's in one at a time and see if we get the same thing on both sides of the equation when we simplify. So let's start with part A. So A, if I plug a 0 in for, did I say that right? X in the first column, Y in the second column. I don't remember what I did say, but this is right. So we're going to go ahead and plug a 0 in for X, and we're plugging in a 3 for Y, and then we're going to simplify. Well, 0 plus 5 is 5, and then we have 3. Well, that does not look like a true statement. It's not true that 3 equals 5, so I know that A is not one of my answers. Alright, let's go ahead and plug in a 0 for X and a 5 for Y. 0 plus 5 is 5, and that statement is true. So the correct answer here is B. And you could, and probably should, just to make sure that we haven't made a mistake, go through and check options C and D. Because sometimes I make mistakes. But yeah, in the instructions it tells us that there's one ordered pair that's right. But sometimes maybe you make a mistake here, and if you find another answer is correct, you would want to go back and make sure you haven't made a mistake somewhere. But I know the right answer, and I want to keep this video short, so B is the correct answer there. Okay, let's do that again with number 2. So number 2, I'm going to plug a 0 in for X with parentheses, and a 3 in for Y. 2 times 0 is 0. And 0 plus 10 is 10. So 3 does not equal 10, so I know that A is not the right answer there. Alright, let's go ahead and do that with 0 and 5. So plug in a 5 for Y and a 0 for X. 2 times 0 is 0. 0 plus 10 is 10, and that does not equal 5. So B is not the right answer in this one. Alright, let's go ahead and do a 1 in for X and a 7 in for Y, parentheses around that. 2 times 1 is 2, and 2 plus 10 is 12, and that does not equal 7, so I know that C is not the right answer. Obviously D is the right answer in theory, but let's actually check it, because maybe we made a mistake earlier. So we're going to have 2 times negative 2 here, and we're going to have a 6 over here. Well, 2 times negative 2 is negative 4, and negative 4 plus 10 does equal 6. So D is going to be the right answer there. Alright, let's go down to level 2. Okay, so for these level 2 questions, we're basically doing the same thing, only it's possible that more than one of these answers is going to be right. So that's kind of why you have this yes or no option. So what we're going to do is I'm going to kind of check the checkerboard one. So I'm going to do this one and this one. This one and this one, then this one and this one. Okay, and I'm going to leave all the rest up to you. So let's go ahead, and we have space down here to work, finally. We're going to check number 3. So number 3, we have negative 1 in for Y, and then a negative 1 in for X. 4 times negative 1 is negative 4, and negative 4 plus 3 does equal negative 1. So we got the same thing on both sides, which is awesome. That one, yes, that is one of the solutions to that equation. Okay, let's come over here. Plug in a 0 for Y. And, it might help you to remember to put x and y, and that usually is good because if you notice with ordered pairs, x's are on the left and y's are on the right. But then in a lot of these equations, the way they look, we have y on the left and x on the right. So sometimes it's helpful to label things, and you might catch me making a mistake because it's just easy to plop them in the right position. What do we got going on? Oh yeah, plus 3. So 4 times negative 4 is negative 16 plus 3. And negative 16 plus 3, what does that equal? Negative 13. That does not equal 0, so that one is not one of our solutions. Let me slide the page up. Okay, new equation here. Y equals negative 3x plus 5. Here's my x, here's my y. So 8 in for y equals negative 3 times negative 1 plus 5. Okay, negative 3 times negative 1 is 3. And 3 plus 5 does equal 8. So yes, that one is one of our solutions. Okay, let's come over here. I also want to point out... Oh, do I want to point something out? No, apparently I don't. I think I might change this. I'm making this video even before school starts. I'm probably going to add right here that you need to show your work. So you need to show your work. It's not written there, but I will be adding it. Okay, so let's see. We've got our x and our y. So 5, negative 3 times 0 plus 5. Negative 3 times 0 is 0. And 0 plus 5 does equal 5. So we did get the same thing. This is one of the ordered pairs that works in that equation. So that one is one of the solutions. Okay, coming down here, I know this isn't too exciting. Hopefully you're only watching this video because you still need it. If you don't, you're obviously welcome to turn it off and continue doing your own work. So negative 3 equals 10 times 0 minus 4. 10 times 0 is 0. And 0 minus 4, is negative 4, and that does not equal negative 3. So this one is not one of the solutions. And we'll come over here, negative 4, oh my gosh, hold on. So we're trying to figure out, does negative 4 equal 10 times 0 minus 4? Well, 10 times 0 is 0. And then 0 minus 4 is negative 4. And hey, look, that does equal each other, so that one is a solution there. Okay, so again, you do need to show your work. You will not get credit if you're not showing your work. And let's go on to the next page. So now these equations here are level 3 questions. Because this does not look like the other equation, it's going to be a little bit different. And here we've got a fraction we've got to deal with. Okay, so let me go ahead, and I'm only going to answer a couple of these. I'm going to do this one right here, and we'll do this one right here. Okay, so here's my x and my y. So we got to set that up. 3 times 0 minus 2 times negative 3, and we're curious if that equals 6. Well, 3 times 0 is 0. And then 2 times negative 3, a couple different ways. You could change that to a plus negative, or I'm just going to leave it as is. We're going to do minus. 2 times negative 3 is negative 6. Oh, but that can get confusing. So 0 minus negative 6, well, we can keep the 0, change the minus, and change the negative, and that would be a positive 6. Let me go ahead and show you, maybe you got to there and you were confused, so you backtracked and you're like, okay, well maybe, what would happen if I changed that to say plus negative? Well, then we would have 0 plus, and then negative 2 times negative 3 is a positive 6. And 0 plus 6 is 6. So you can kind of see that we get the same place by once again changing that minus to a plus negative. Sometimes that's super helpful, sometimes it's confusing. So you just want to be able to bounce back and forth between those two as much as possible. Alright, let's come down to this question right here. So we have 0, I'll go back to red. 0 equals 2/3 times 0 plus 5. Well, 2/3 times 0 is just 0, that's really easy. And then 0 plus 5 is 5. So does 0 equal 5? Nope. That is not one of the solutions to that one. Alright, good luck. Let me just point out down here, on these level 4 questions, you're trying to find one ordered pair that works with both. Here you were checking ordered pairs to see. So like you could imagine, what if you had this ordered pair and you needed to check it here and here. Okay? Your goal is to see if you can find an ordered pair that does work with this equation and works with that equation. There's a lot of different ways that you could do this, and I give you a hint down here, so make sure you use it for you level 4 triers. Alright, I'll see you later.